Welcome back. Freminet is in a bit of a bad shape at the moment, and he's being treated at the infirmary.
No time to lose.
So we've decided to join everyone, Linny, Lynette, and Sigewine, in taking Freminet to the infirmary. You okay, mate?
He's awake. Freminet, how do you feel?
Linny. Lynette.
We're all here.
Where am I?
The infirmary, at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Freminet, and you are no longer in any danger.
How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Traveler. Paimon. It's been so long. The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Yeah, we've definitely figured that much out at this point.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about it after you've recovered.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it.
What happened after you snuck into the pipe?
Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now.
Something going on in this forbidden zone, isn't there? Ooh. Are we going to be playing as Freminet? That'd be cool.
I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned. Where could Master Child be?
Look for clues concerning child. Let's have a look back here first. I want to have a look at this grate over here, see if we can see anything up there. No, you can't see much in there. Very well. Still got my bubble gun though. Oh, can't use it in domains. Very well. We're down. Ooh, big door.
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
So that's just a call button. Okay, it's not a puzzle or anything. It's just a call button. Very well. Righto. I'm getting the idea. Ding, 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 ding. I like how it jumps up on the ledge. Great. Wait, it didn't bring up all of it? I thought there were... Oh. It did, it's just the other bridges on the opposite side, isn't it? I thought it had left a bit behind, but no.
It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
An obstacle seems to be obstructing. Try adjusting... What? Try adjusting the rotary plate? But how? But how? You haven't taught me how. Oh, I see. Yes, of course. Put it down there. Then turn it. Yeah. And now if we put it up, we can get across. Simple enough. So it is a puzzle as well. Cool. I do like the puzzles. That's one thing I really like about Honkai Star Rail is all those puzzles around the place. That's something I need to get caught up on as well in terms of recording. Is Honkai Star out? We'll get there, we'll get there. Down we go. Not a secret chest or anything, is there?
This is where the water starts. Okay. Master Child probably dived into the water. I'll go take a look as well.
Is this where the issue starts, though? Is this primordial water? Almost looks like a,
The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. Oh, there are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here.
a subway is what I wanted to say.
Wait, what the...
There we go.
My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on? No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Quick. It'd be interesting, is that actually happening? Yeah, I was going to say, if his health starts to drop, and that is the case. That's cool. That's cool.
I can't die here. This is bad. I'm feeling worse and worse, and I'm still underwater. I have to push on.
There she is. That was lucky, mate.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone, but there was also no obvious place for him to have disappeared to.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going. I probably passed out some time after that, and you know the rest.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clarande, you say? I must go thank her in person.
You're still too weak, Freminet. You can go after you've had some more rest.
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Wriothesley was the one who invited her to come down here?
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me.
Got it. I'll go talk to him. Over a cup of tea, hopefully.
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Lenny?
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
Understood. Then let's just sit together for a while.
That's kind of cute with Linny there.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
Thank you.
Oh, she's coming with? That's cool. Go to the Duke's office. I was trying to think if I had a waypoint that was closer. And I probably do, but it would take time regardless to...
I'm quite impressed.
Are you? Yeah, I'm not. I did press square, it just didn't make him dive. Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be quicker to just get there by running and jumping, but maybe it would have been better to use the waypoint now. Ah well. Ah well.
Excuse me?
Right, what's going on, mate?
I take it Mr. Freminet's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Sejuane?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now, then.
Well, want to explain yourself, Wriothesley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten?
Oh, alright then please enlighten us as much as you'd like.
Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals.
And why didn't you stop them?
Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went, so I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
Yeah, understandable. And we still don't really know where he's gone, do we?
So you were hoping Lenny's group would just do your work for you!
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Freminet has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
But why is the level of primordial seawater on the rise?
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
Now, why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Oh, right! Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Cloran down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Freminet was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already.
So, the Forbidden Zone really exists. What's inside of it? I feel like he doesn't know.
That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Freminet.
Interesting. It could still go the way that he doesn't know, but he doesn't want to give away the fact he doesn't know. But I do find that less likely now based on that answer.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant?
Well, yes.
Follow me.
Oh? Follow him then. Where did he go? Downstairs. Ooh. A secret staircase.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Wriothesley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is.
So what have we got down? Ooh. Interesting. Is this some kind of elevator? Is this a secret door? Which aspect's going to happen? Like, are we going to go down or through? Or neither?
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
Once everyone has taken their positions on the circular plate, it begins to slowly move downwards.
So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special.
I am wondering, does Paimon have like a certain aspect to her that makes her float a certain level above the ground constantly? Because when the elevator was going down, because she floats, shouldn't she have basically stayed where she was? Or is she, I mean, at this point she probably still is, literally attached to the traveler? Like, what made her go down at the same rate? Or am I just thinking about it a bit too much? That's probably the case.
What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
No, I want to have a look inside.
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
Interesting. What could be down here that would make me not want to tell them? Okay.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
We don't even move, okay.
Whoa. They all just went up one by one.
What's that in the middle of the room? It's some kind of giant cog.
Go on, have a look.
I will. Are we looking down or? It's some kind of gauge, and it looks like it's maxed out. This room is really empty with nothing in here, which is quite strange on its own. There's also a device smack dab in the middle of the room, which looks like some kind of massive sluice gate.
I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
Pressure. It feels like pressure.
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary.
Oh.
The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Freminet displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
But why?
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising.
Again, why? Primordial seawater is continually leaking into the sea.
Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us! Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us.
The fact that that gauge over there is flashing red is very worrying. It feels like it's gonna burst.
The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us.
And it's already causing harm, and it hasn't even opened. Uh-oh.
If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all.
And if this gate falls, all of Fontaine will fall with it.
Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
That is the question.
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them, and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors.
And it grew over time.
The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea.
What a strange question to ask at this point. Do you believe in the prophecies? Clearly he does, because he's concerned about this.
To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate.
Yeah, it's that aspect where it's like, yeah, in normal conditions he wouldn't believe it, but it's like, yeah, but there's a big warning gauge over there and it's flashing red, so the clues have kind of mounted up.
Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third.
So, as the Duke of Metapede, just what do you plan to do about it?
Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
Is it your tea collection?
This is it.
The vault.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin?
Ed who?
He's the one who blew the whole institute sky high. Everyone knew he was a bit crooked in the head, but you're not a local, so I guess it's possible for you not to have heard of him.
Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
You want to blow up the Fortress of Meripede?
Ah, what a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
What?
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
Was that really necessary?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
All right, calm down.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
Can it? How do we know it can't?
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Is this just a normal room?
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
Ooh. This is...
What a huge ship? This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
barely anything.
Not much at all.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Well, yeah.
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster.
This is a plan for the ages. Can't you share your plan with everyone?
Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe.
Really?
As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions?
Yes. What type of tea do you use to soothe your throat? Also, what's that green stuff down there?
Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back.
You didn't answer my questions. How dare you?
I'll leave you here for now.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
He means that my actions now will decide the next steps Linny's group takes. In other words, if I want to tell Linny the truth, I must make him understand that we cannot afford excessive conflict right now.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Yeah, we will.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
Let's go tell Linny. Ooh. Well, now we've had like a explanation of what's going on in the Forbidden Zone, I feel like this would be a good place to end this part before we return to the infirmary and see about how we explain things to Linny. Yeah, that's going to be a tricky conversation, but we'll see about it in the next part. Ta-da for now.